Hello, this is Jeff Byers, and welcome back. This is Annie 255, Advanced Animation and Effects, Module 15. It's our last week. It's so great to have just 1 week left. I tried to make this as absolutely as easy and as pleasant as possible for you guys your last week. And if you download your V-Ray, where is that at? Yeah, the V-Ray collection right here, you will have a wonderful, wonderful week. So easy to use. Phoenix FD is just an amazing piece of software that does incredibly fast water simulations. And there's a video that's like 12 minutes long, 14 minutes long. So let's talk about what I want you guys to do. Now, of course, those of you that don't want to download V-Ray, don't want to download Phoenix FD, we have an alternative assignment. You don't get out of it. You have an alternative assignment, which is called Bifrost. Now, Bifrost is a liquid simulation, not near as sophisticated as Phoenix FD, nor does it look realistic to me. It looks kind of like what we ran into with the N particles creating milk. It kind of has that curdled, thick molasses feel to me. And it just doesn't feel like water simulation. So, but that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing the Bifrost simulation, and the students that have downloaded Phoenix FD basically can click on a button and fill up their jar. So that's basically how easy it will be if you use V-Ray and Phoenix FD. So you'll have to get the V-Ray collection and make sure when you download it, it's for free, won't cost you a thing. I'm not sure, I mean, don't quote me, I'm not sure if it's made for Macintosh. So I'm not sure if it is, great, then download it. But again, I'm speaking for Windows based systems, so V-Ray collection will work just fine because I have it at home. I have it here. Alright, so let's get into it. So you're basically going to create, the student will model some glasses of their choice. A beer glass, wine glass, these are just examples. Drinking glass, honey jar, coffee glass. And if you do a coffee cup, make sure it's glass, okay? We want to be able to see through it, so we want to see the pour and how it splashes up and all that stuff. And you're going to pick, they've got 6 or 7 or 8 presets. I want you to pick 3 that you would like to try. 3 liquid simulations, those are the presets. And find the simulations that best fit the types of glassware. So you kind of have to think ahead. Okay, so if I'm going to do, so look at the presets and see what kind of jar. So like a honey jar, you know what those look like. Coffee glass, drinking glass, a wine glass, a beer glass. These are all different types of glass. So you're going to have to go in there, or glassware. So you're going to have to go and find a reference and then go ahead and model those out. It doesn't matter how you model them out, just make sure they have a thickness to it. Okay, they're not single-sided. Okay. And just like we talked about with the N particles with the milk, pouring, don't spill the milk, exactly that way you're going to have to model a thickness to it. So make sure you do that. Alright, so again you have a choice, but we're still talking about Phoenix here. So the student will save the completed 3 scenes MB files when you're finished. The student will pick one of these simulations and render one simulation out of the 3 that you picked. You'll render one with V-Ray, okay, for Phoenix FD. And if you render with Arnold, if you render with Bifrost, you're going to be rendering with Arnold, okay? All right. So because Bifrost is a lot more difficult to use, there's a lot more steps involved. The students that are using Bifrost will only do one simulation following my tutorials, okay? And they'll have to render out one entire scene. So that'll be one for them, one play blast, one MB file, and one rendered AVI movie. Okay. For the Phoenix people, you'll have to render out 3 because it's basically presets. You actually literally put your glass into the water simulator and you press play. That's it. And you're done. And then all you have to do is render it. So you guys have it pretty easy this week. Okay, so you guys can read the rest of it. If you don't know how to import individual frames into Premiere Pro, there's plenty of videos out there. I think I went through it with the milk simulation with the end particle, so please feel free to go back to that module. Okay, and so you're going to compress everything at H.264 AVI movie file, and you guys can read the rest here. The Play Blast AVI, I need to have that. Objectives, you guys can read that, and you guys can read the lesson content and tutorials. Introducing Phoenix FD, what is it? It's pretty amazing. Here's some cool little features that it can do. Now these are very complex simulations here, and take a lot of work to set up, but some of these are some really cool images of what you can do with it. And it's a fluid generator. That means anything associated with fluids, meaning water, gaseous explosions, smoke, fumes, clouds, fire. So you've got some really cool things that you guys can do and play around with. So it's $149 for the student, and I know you guys are ready to graduate. Most of you are that are taking this class, and I would highly recommend you spending the $149 to have it, to play with it, you get it for a year. You won't get this chance again. Once you're done, you're done as a student. So take this next couple weeks and see if you can gather up the funds for it. I think it's well worth it, and you have it for a whole year. Okay, so the Bifrost plugin isn't as robust. It's not even close, and it still has a lot of issues. And I'm hoping Maya 2022 came out. I just downloaded it. I haven't had a chance to mess with Bifrost, and hopefully I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it is fixed. It had all kinds of issues and node problems. Those of you that are doing Bifrost, not to worry. I've got step-by-step videos for you to watch that I did myself, and then you guys can take it from there and color the liquid any way you like, and go ahead and create your scene for me. Phoenix FD for Maya is very simple. I pulled this directly from the website, so it is good to go. Again, you guys will, if you're doing Phoenix FD, I want 3 models, 3 scenes, 3 separate scenes with 3 different types of glasses that fit the liquid. So if you're doing beer, you'll have a beer glass. If you're doing milk, you'll have some kind of a pitcher of milk or something, or you'll fill up a pitcher full of milk. If you have wine, then you'll do a wine glass. If you're going to do honey or something like that, then you'll have like a different jar for that, a honey jar or something. Make sure it's glass. It looks like glass. Okay, so it's easy to see how it's pouring in. Okay, that's the only thing I ask. And the Bifrost, your alternative course. Now again, if you're doing Phoenix FD, you do not have to do the alternative. The people that the students have to do the alternative are the ones that can't download, or they were not successful downloading at Phoenix FD for Maya or V-Ray. So they're kind of stuck with doing the alternative course assignment just so they can get their 40 points. Okay. Alright, so basically if you get done with all that, make sure you save all your files. Again, you'll have 3 MB files for Phoenix FD. Okay, you have 3 separate MB files, 3 separate simulations. You'll have 3 separate Play Blast movie files. You'll have 3 separate rendered files you have to do. Okay, that about evens out as far as the work involved with the Bifrost. Bifrost is it. You know, I had to do 2 videos, and this last one was like 40 or 50 minutes long. So this one is basically what 12 minutes long. So that's how easy it is. Okay, so these combined was about an hour of work. So I had to do something. I pulled a lot of the workload, tried to pull all the workload out of here to make it even between the two, so it was fair. That's what I did. Okay. All right. So in here we have a grading rubric. If you did the Phoenix FD liquid simulation, make sure you read this very carefully. Okay. The renders have to be free of render errors and issues, and they need to show shadows, and they need to show, you know, the glass needs to look like glass. I mean, the usual stuff. I want it to look as good as possible. And you'll be using V-Ray, so that shouldn't be an issue there. And in here, I also show you how to render in the Bifrost. And the Bifrost is the only thing that doesn't look good in this scene. The liquid simulation looks like curdled milk. It just no matter what I did, it just still looked like curdled milk. So that's okay. If yours turns out like that, turn it in. Don't get frustrated. Don't kill yourself trying to get it to, if it's close to looking like liquid, I'm good with Bifrost. About the best it can do right now. Okay. 2020, I don't know what they did, but they messed up Bifrost somehow. Okay, so don't worry. It's going to get better. Okay, 2022. The minute you guys can go ahead and I would uninstall 2020. The soonest you can upgrade to or download 2022, do it. It's so much better. Okay, so Phoenix FD deliverables. So you guys are doing Phoenix FD, then you'll turn in 3 Maya scene files. Okay, you'll turn in 1 completely rendered out liquid simulation using V-Ray, turned into an AVI movie file. So that means you'll go ahead and just pick one of the rendered files. Okay, one of these 3 simulations that you did and render it out. You just basically pick one of the 3. Okay, and you render it out and give me an AVI movie. So I know I said 3 before. You do not need to render out 3 of those. You just need to render out 1. Okay. Now I know V-Ray lets you render out batch render, so you're good to go there. Okay, and then 3 Play Blast movies, because you'll have 3 scenes. Okay, so those are, you need to make sure those are compressed. All right. If you have questions about this, let me know. I think that's pretty clear here. Hopefully it is. And then the alternative would be, we talked about students that are doing Phoenix FD will turn in 1 simulated scene, 1 compressed AVI movie file rendered, and 1 Play Blast. Okay. Alright, and here's the structure. I'm not going to have any instructor turn-in examples. There's no need for that, so I'll get rid of this. But anyway, I might put my Play Blast movie in there, but anyway, so that's it. Okay, so you guys know what to do. Have fun. It's been a great semester for me, and hopefully it was a great semester for you. I tried to keep it as simplistic as I could. I know some of you guys had issues with the dynamics. That's only because I think Maya 2020 wasn't that good of a version. You get that with Windows too. I remember a version of Windows, I can't remember what it was, but there's been, it's like hit and miss. Like 2018 or 2019 of Maya was really solid, and then 2020 came out and it was just like, I don't know what they were thinking, but they had all kinds of issues, and all kinds of issues with the dynamic systems. I don't know what happened, it got broke. So with 2022, I'm anxious to see what they've got, but you know what, I just got to a point where I started using a different third-party plugin. The one I use now is RealFlow, and now I've got Phoenix FD. So it's for those two. Now RealFlow is still like $149. So anyway, that's a great product. But I think as a student, this is like your best deal. the V-Ray collection. They just started that, and so that's really cool. So make sure you get the V-Ray collection for Maya. It's really important that you get that, and really important that you install V-Ray for Maya first. If you don't, you might have to uninstall this again. Okay, you have to install V-Ray for Maya first, and then Phoenix FD. Okay, that's really important. I read that and did it, and it works fine. But there's some students that have some real problems installing Phoenix FD first and then V-Ray. So V-Ray first. Okay. Have a great week. It's been great. I'm going to miss you guys, and hopefully you have a wonderful graduation. And those of you that would like to reach out, I would love you guys to send me your portfolio that you did in Lauren's class. I would love to see that stuff. Send me your portfolio website. Just send me a URL, and I would love to see your work. It would be great to see what you guys are doing, what you guys did in that class. So I look forward to seeing you guys again, and good luck with final exams. They'll be pretty simple, and I'm gonna give you a scene, and then you're gonna do a particle simulation for me. Okay, it's similar to putting the fire out, right? So I'm gonna kind of add a twist to it. So that's what's gonna happen with final exam. You're gonna do a liquid simulation, meaning that with particles, and it's the legacy particles, so make sure you do that. Don't do N particles, that'll mess you up. So legacy particles, and you're gonna add fire to something for me, and you're gonna put it out, okay? With keyframe animation, keyframing the rate. It's pretty simple, and if you have questions, you let me know. All right, I'll see you guys last week. Have a great week.